Well, today, some fucker punched me in the face. To be honest, I didn't deserve it. The person just didn't like me defending against them. But let me back it up a little bit. It started out, I was walking my dog. There's a street called Oak Street where I'm from. And I was walking down Oak Street up to from my house, which is 10 blocks away from where I'm at, to a 31st Street, and I turned right. And this red car pulled up next to me, and he was asking oh, do I know you or something? I'm like, no. And then he accused me of looking at his house because his Ring door app thing turned on, and he saw me staring at his house, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember doing that. I don't know what your house looked like. And so he walked, he said other shit. I don't remember. Then he kind of just drove off. And I was pissed off because he's literally accusing me. He didn't say it, but he's basically implying that I'm going to rob his house or something. Because why would you drive up to a person asking you oh, do I know you? No. No one in the right mind would drive up to somebody, ask them if I need something from them. Why the fuck would I know you when I'd never seen you before in my life? So anyways, I was mad at that. So as the guy was turning around, he turned around, let him go past me, while I just stood at the same spot walking on. And he's about to turn left back to the street that wasn't in the small 31st Street. And after I flipped up this guy, I'm just pissed off. You don't, I'm tired of being accused of shit for doing nothing. It's 3 times in my life, the police were called on me, just because I was there. Or they're questioning me, or someone was concerned. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it. So I flipped him off thinking nothing's going to happen, but this fucker drove backwards really quickly up to me, and then the nice demeanor he had, he changed it up to being a skinhead. Oh, I have a gun, man, I'll beat you the fuck up, dude. Oh, I wasn't being rude to you at all. Whatever, he kept saying that bullshit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Technically, you were saying you're accusing me nicely, so I just let it happen. And then I was just staying there okay, can you just go? And then he kept accusing me oh, you're retarded. And why are you not saying anything? And I started defending myself. I was like, dude, I told him straight up, you implied that I was trying to rob your house because I was looking at your house. And then his response was well, I wasn't implying anything. Only the guilty stand. I'm like, I didn't respond. I was like, what? And I kept saying, I'm just walking my dog. I don't know where you live. I'm just walking my dog. I don't know where you live. And then he kept saying, the same shit. Oh, I'll beat you up where I'm from. I'm from Cali. It's really tough there. Or something. And he kept doing that shit. And then I don't know what ticked him off. Cause I kept saying that shit. I'm just walking my dog. I have no clue what your house looked like. And then he just sucker punched me in the face really quickly to knock off my glasses onto the ground and my earbud on my head. And I was just dumbfounded. And then for a second, I told him as he slowly got in his car again. Dude, I could fucking sue you for this. You literally punched me for no fucking reason. And he's like, what? He said so much cowardly way. Well, you punched me? I'm like, no, I didn't. And then he didn't say anything afterwards. I'm like, dude, you punched me first and ran away. Because I didn't even see you get in your car. I just saw you were there for a second, you disappeared, I looked down because you fucking punched me in the face. And I saw my shit on the ground, and then you got in the car, I said that. And then he's like, well, I won't see you in my house again. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I stood there dumbfounded, and I'm also dumbfounded that my dog didn't do anything. Usually my dog defends me for anything. But either he was just there. I was dumbfounded by that, so I was just going to walk it off because literally just a he said, she said situation, which pissed me off because my face was hurting. And I still feel it, he punched me right there. Now it's, it's sore right here, because it was a light punch. But still. Now I called the police, because the witness, a lady, saw the thing happen, and I called the neighbor, and the neighbor's name Dan, helped me out. He took me to call the police, which I was kind of iffy on, because, it's a he said, she said situation. And I called them. I called 911, and then the guy sounded really unamused. And I didn't know the guy's name, so I just I don't know. I tried my best to him. What he looked like to the operator, but it didn't happen. He didn't get anything because the police officer didn't hear anything. He's like, okay, so what did he look like? But that's a little jump ahead. So we sat there for like 30 minutes. At least the way it felt like. I was talking to this dude. The dude gave me water. I was waiting there. This guy was really nice. He said he only lived in that place for 10 years now because, you know, where he worked at, the place got shut down, and so he had to move there. And it's just like everyone else in Terre Haute in Indiana, like, no one likes it here. Besides, if you're a college student, then it's okay. Anyways, so I waited there talking to him a little bit. He gave my dog water. He gave me water, being really nice. We had a nice chat. And then I called him, after a little bit, I called my dad because the police officer was taking forever. And they found me before the police officer came up. And let me tell you, this dude was a fucking jackass. He was like, I went up to the vehicle like, hey officer, in his car, and he's like, oh, you're the one who called? So unamused. Like, if I was, you know, if he wasn't a police officer. Anyway, so this dude, he didn't want to respond, but he's kind of like, okay. So what happened? And I basically told him the gist of the story, where I forgot about the gun thing while I was describing it. The dude who I was talking to, Ryan's like, yeah, you said you was going to shoot you. Ryan's like, yeah. But the dude was just not having it. He's kind of just like, after I give him a little bit of it, he's like, okay, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, my dad first said is like, yeah, I would like to do something. He's like, well, he's 20. The officer said, well, he's 22. It's like, okay. So I basically asked him what could I do. He said, well, I could talk to a detective, whatever, and have a report eventually. And I said, okay, I guess do that. And he's like, okay, sure. So he started reporting it down. He got my, you know, name, birth date, number, all that, and I described him as much as possible. And then he was like, well, I guess I'm going to send a detective for a guy looking for a thing in a red car in that general direction. But I specifically told him, the officer is between like 25th and Brown and Oak, so they don't have to look so far. But I doubt he wrote that down, because this guy he was just like rolling his eyes. He's like telling my dad, well, it's just because he flipped him off the thing happened. So like the dude is not, like, the police officer is basically saying nothing's gonna happen, which fucking sucks. So my dad called, and then we kind of looked around to figure out where a red car was, and the only red car that was like it was the one that's like 2 houses down from turning right on 31st Street. And we tried to take pictures of it, but my camera was shit, so I couldn't do anything, so we just drove home after that. And I've just been basically ranting the whole time, and I'm just mad I know nothing's gonna be done, because police officers don't care. So, yeah. I'm gonna, you know, post this on YouTube before I stream tonight, since I didn't stream yesterday because I wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I don't trust my city, and I'm tired of being called the police for literally no reason. I'm tired of people getting mad at me for literally no reason. Like, I'm not going to walk that same road again on Oak Street for them. And if I do, I'm going to turn right easily and go the way I normally go. Because this week I really went on that route next to the house, turned right on 31st Street, when I turned right on 25th. Yeah. I'm not going to say names, because I don't want that guy following me or finding me, or officer, you know, trying to harass me or arrest me for doing stupid shit because I said his name. I'm not going to say his name. I just thought it was really I don't like this. Didn't care for the situation. I felt I was the one. I'm like the victim of the whole thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to end it there. That's the gist of it. And I made a YouTube comment on Urban Ranch YouTube channel, and if I see a comment on there, I'll just link them this video to explain what truly happened. I know most people are going to be like, well, you flipped him off, so you deserve to be punched in the face. I'm like, well, that's not what happened. I flipped him off, then he got upset at me. Like, flipping him off didn't cause him anything. He would just yelled at me and walked away. But I defended myself, and defending myself, I punched him, which he shouldn't have punched me for defending myself. So, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, so that's what happened today. So, originally, I was going to be home around this time anyways, but, like, just now arriving, because I was planning to go for a long walk, and I was exercising at the gym, but now I don't want to go anywhere, because I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid of what happens. Like, I'm not afraid of the dude, I'm just afraid of, you know, what happened afterwards, you know. Because I hated that he said, "You punched me first." I'm like, "No, I didn't." Like, I literally just stood there dumbfounded. My dog in one hand, the leash wrapped around one hand, and nothing in the other. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, again, I'm just weird that my dog didn't do anything. Normally he defends me, but... Alright, thank you very much, and see you when I stream. Or you can watch this after I stream. I don't really care.